And hello, everybody. Welcome to Trusty's Vintage Live Sale. Once again, coming to you from an undisclosed location in my hotel room in Missouri. That is where I am this week. And brought some things with me so I can continue doing the live sale. And one of the things I brought with me is my trusty sidekick, Katie. So Katie
Yay!
is here from Vintage and Vinyl, and she is still going to be with me no matter where I go. She is the angel or the devil on my shoulder, whichever day of the week it is, and she will be helping me keep control of things that are going on in the chat. And I've already seen Nate is holding court in the chat itself. So Soul Nate is also here. So the triptych is together once again for Trusty's Vintage Live Sales. How are you doing tonight, Katie?
I'm doing fantastic, Patrick, and I'm always thrilled to be a part of your sales. They're a lot of fun. And Nate is a true rock star, so big round of applause to Nate.
Yes. So for those of you who are not familiar with Nate, first you should be subscribing to Nate's channel, Soul Nate. He is based in New Zealand, and he is part of the triptych that I referred to, which is actually now a real thing. If you're not familiar with some of the other programming that goes on our channels, some of the vintage community, we do more than just try and sell things. So one of the things that we are offering is Tales from the Triptych. And the next one is coming up this Sunday. They're always on Sundays. They're always at 8 p.m. Eastern. And the triptych is Katie, myself, and Soul Nate. And this Sunday will be the next Tales from the Triptych, which will actually be hosted by Katie. So why don't we go ahead and start off? What are you going to be talking about on Sunday's triptych?
Sunday's triptych is going to be very interesting and exciting, and I am going to be talking all about vintage vinyl. I'm going to tell you how to identify vintage vinyl as far as different presses go. So how do you tell a first press from a second press, and all the things that you might encounter when you're out looking at vinyl. So I'm very excited about that. And the great thing is I can show you a lot of detail up close that I can't show you live on camera. So that will be really, really fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. When we were planning out the different triptychs, for some of you who might be familiar, Katie has been doing deep dive or show and tells. I was doing deep dives. And I did a deep dive with Katie on vinyl showing her collection. And we did talk a little bit about the first pressings, but when you're doing the deep dives, which we also now have dives that done on Wednesdays, we'll talk about those in a second, but you're limited to what you can actually show in your own collection. So the triptychs, if you're not familiar with them, they are an online exploration of just about anything we can find. So last week I did Rookwood pottery, and I had gone through architectural sites, museum sites, eBay, Etsy for reselling, all kinds of things that you just can't show when you're trying to show a physical collection. It's just impossible to show it all. So Katie decided that this was a great topic to revisit, because we'll actually be able to get more into this whole concept of the pressing and the age and why that kind of stuff makes a difference, so that you're not just selling things, or getting things like I do because they're pretty. There's more to it. There's nothing wrong with buying something because it's got cool art, but in some cases it's good to know, particularly if you're trying to resell or if you want to start your collection. So Katie will be talking about that.
And that will be great, because I can show you some records that I want for my collection, but I'll probably never be able to own because they're just so rare.
Good
so
point.
That will be exciting too. So if you're out looking at vinyl, you might see that at the thrift store and antique store, and someone just didn't know what they have, and now you really got some gold.
Absolutely. And I did mention we have Katie and I have joined forces between our deep dives and show and tells. We're now doing duo dives. We just had one last night, and that was a duo dive, which happened to just be Katie and me. And Katie showed her collection of tobacco tins. So if you missed that, that is posted on my channel from last night. We'll have another one next Wednesday. And this one, we will be interviewing Cindy from Mimi's Treasure Cottage. And she'll be talking about her collection of cupcake toppers. So we will go into some of the depths of her collection, why she's collecting it, and what to be on the lookout for, and values from cupcake toppers and cupcake decorations. So that will also be on my channel. We ended up having a double header. I will be hosting that one next week as well. So that'll be on my channel. So that's what's coming up on our channel. So let's see who's in my channel tonight. Looks like out of the gate, we had Nate was first, but then we got Edward coming in from El Unico. Thanks so much for joining.
Hi, Edward.
And let's see, Book has joined us from the West Coast. And Jan is here. And let's see. Patricia is in from Mayberry Caboodles. So thanks so much for joining us. Stud with a Stash is here. We got Sam from Dining at Sea, representing the Live Free or Die state of New Hampshire.
I just sent Sam a picture of a rare tobacco tin with a ship, so I don't know if I'm going to start inspiring him to start a new collection or not.
Sam has been lucky enough to get, I think now 2 mystery boxes. And for people that buy my mystery boxes that I know who they are, or I know what they've bought from me in the past, I do try and do the best I can to add something special into the box. And so the last one, I only had one item that had a ship on it, and it was a thimble. I'm like, okay, Sam, this is probably wholly inappropriate. But here you go. It's the only thing I had that had a boat on it. So you know what? Got Brian coming in from the Chicagoland area. We got Barb coming in from the Chicagoland area as well. Irene has joined us again, so thanks so much, Irene. We got Dawn coming in from the Just One More Dachshund Rescue. And Dawn is going to be helping me with the fundraisers coming up in November. I will be talking more about that. Hopefully, I'm going to try and get a video out by this weekend just to talk about some of the stuff that's going on in preparation for the fundraiser. The fundraiser itself will take place Thursday, November 11th. It'll take place as part of my regular. It'll take the place of my regular Thursday night sale that week. And if you're not familiar with that, last year we raised $3,500 for the Dachshund fundraiser, and this year our goal is $5,000. So we can do it. We're going to be donating. We're going to have multiple grand prize winners that will receive 5 mystery boxes from a number of YouTube resellers that are donating mystery boxes to the cause. Plus, we'll have a lot of items that we'll be selling on my channel that night live, and we will have some things on my eBay channel that maybe have a little bit more value that will hopefully, my eBay store will have those as auction items that people can try and pick those up. So thanks so much, Dawn, for joining the sale, and we're looking forward to doing stuff to make sure we take care of the Doxies. And let's see, we've got jumped again, so I hope I didn't miss Sandra K. I don't think I said hi to her. Oh, we got another Terp coming in the house. Got Chad coming in from Maryland.
Hi, Chad.
Let's see.
Oh, Scott from the old Curiosity Shop. He was in for a little bit.
Oh, hey, Scott. I missed Scott. Somebody, I just jumped again. Somebody was in from Texas, and now I can't figure out who that was. Claudia is here. Claudia K. Vintage. We've got Halem's in the house, which means somewhere we must also have Melody. And there's Melody. Melanie is also coming in from Atlanta. So we got the South represented. We got Mary coming in from New York State. So thanks, Mary, for joining. There's Scott there. I jumped over him. We got Kelly coming in, also from the Chicagoland area. Larry Riley in the house. Oh, Fluffy Otter 1 has come in.
I like that name, Fluffy Otter.
Fluffy Otter, absolutely. Rebecca coming in from the great state of Maine. And
hey, Barb, Winking Owl Antiques.
Oh, hey, Barb. Yeah, I jumped again, so I can't even figure out. There's another Chicago lady. Another Chicagoland area. Carolyn Gatels is back in the house. I swear I just had one that was from Texas, and now I can't figure out who was here from Texas.
Hey, Carrie.
Steve is in. Some must be in here somewhere. There's Steve also from the great state of New York. Linda. Hey, Love in Circles. All right. So whoever it was from Texas that I missed, it keeps. Oh, there we go. Sherry Edwards. Sorry, that was a name that I knew somebody was from Texas. I couldn't figure out who it was. All right. So I appreciate everyone joining in. If I missed you, I do apologize. It does. If you don't know StreamYard, every once in a while it just jumps. And
yeah, it's hard
to find.
And I wore my shirt today, Patrick, in honor of you. Patrick always has the fun, kitschy shirts with all kinds of cool designs. So today I'm wearing my lobster shirt.
Excellent.
With my little goldfish here.
Oh, so fun.
We got all the seafood.
I actually have a new shirt today. I'm wearing my Disney Goofy shirt.
Oh, that's so fun, Patrick.
So it says something on here. What does it say? Goofy Man of the House. So that is I've got my Goofy shirt on today. So
I love that. So
a little
fun.
different. Oh, did I miss the Canadian? So Sharon Delaney is in from Canada. I didn't know. I missed my Canucks. So there we go. Sorry, Sharon. Didn't mean to miss saying hi to you. That Dawn loves my shirts. I will say this is something I've always, I've done the Hawaiian shirts. I've done the weird stuff. I never realized it was going to turn into a thing when I started doing the shows, but everyone started loving it. It all starts. I've got to give my bromance to Halem because he was the first one that started shouting out some of the shirts that I was wearing just because I was wearing them. And then I suddenly realized, like, oh, that could kind of be my thing. I think that's kind of fun. So I am always on the lookout for shirts. And rumor has it, I think Halem and Melody found something that I'm supposed to be wearing. Either for the Doxy rescue or I'm supposed to have somehow something associated with the fundraiser. So I'll have to watch for that. So Melanie is asking where I am. So I am actually in the suburb of St. Louis right now. So I was working for my day gig. Have trade show season has started. I am in a trade show traveling every week for the next 6. And yeah. So let's see. Next week, I will also be in an undisclosed location. I don't even remember where I'm going to be. And then the next week, I will actually be driving. So I will either record something or I might be skipping the show that week. So I will keep you posted as we get closer to that. So to get things started, most of the names that I shouted out, I recognize. There were a couple of new ones. Hey, Releve. A couple of ones that I didn't recognize. Hey, Julie. That Kara from Kitschy Corner. If you're not familiar with my channel, I work the same way as everyone else. I just don't do offer ups or auctions. I just don't. But I do have an eBay channel or an eBay store, and I do have items that are in auctions on eBay. And currently, this is what is up for auction right now. It is a Cambridge glass car vase, including the bracket. So that is currently up for auction. It will end in 47 minutes. So in 47 minutes, that auction will end, and I will have another item that goes live at that time. So if you happen to be bidding on the car vase, there is currently at $45. If you do bid on that and you win anything else tonight, I can combine for shipping. So you can definitely take advantage of that if you happen to be in the chat when the car vase sells. Same thing for the next item that I will offer in the auction. It will end next week during next week's live sale. And if you buy that, I can combine that with everything else that evening as well. Grab my pen.
That is a fantastic piece. One that I don't think you see a lot of intact anymore.
Yeah, a couple people had commented that they weren't aware of it, or they weren't aware it was a Cambridge item. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Sue Raspberry visited the Cambridge Glass Museum just this past week, which she put onto her itinerary for a trip to Ohio because I did a video at the Cambridge Glass Museum, and that was where I first saw in person a car vase. But if you watch the Crazy Lamp Lady, that was the first time I heard talk about the popularity of the car vases. Wasn't anything I'd ever really come across in the wild, and it just happened to be the same trip that I went to the Cambridge Museum. I came across that car vase, and so it was meant to be, but not putting it in my Hyundai, so it is going up for sale. So hopefully it'll go home to a good home. And thank you, Nate, Nate's giving the updates of emailing me. And I think and Nate had also dropped the link to the eBay store, the eBay item that is currently up for auction. So that is the auction. So all the items that I will show you, I will give you the price. That is the price you will pay. And you just need to be the first person to claim the item number that I give you. Nate is the sole moderator in the chat. He will determine who is the first person he sees in his chat in New Zealand, and there are no debates, and he cannot be bribed. So the first item going out is always going to be the mystery box. And since I'm on location, I've only brought one of the maxi pads with me, but this serves as my little visual that in every mystery box that I'll be doing, hopefully at least for the next couple of months. I'm not sure I'm going to carry through the next year, but I still have enough of the maxi pads to get at least one maxi pad going into the next several mystery boxes. The mystery boxes end up being really popular. So that is the one exception to my evening's offerings. Instead of telling you the item number, I actually make you guess. So we turn it into a little bit of a game. So the item number on this one is, I will tell you the range. It's going to be a $15 box. They're always going to cost, well, these will cost $15. I'll put between $25 and $30 worth of items in there, and it'll be based on weight of where it'll ship. I will put a shipping cost of I'll try and keep it around $10. So if I have to ship it to the West Coast, you'll get the same value of items. It'll just be lighter weight. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be $15 plus about $10 shipping, depending on what else you purchase from me. So the item is $15. The number, which you can guess, and you can guess more than once. So feel free to enter a number, hit enter, and then hit another number. Nate does know the number. He cannot be bribed. He will be watching, and I will give 2 of the mystery boxes away. So the first 2 people that see the number that falls between 50 and 60, between 50 and 60, will get the first mystery box. The first 2 people that offer the number between 50 and 60 will receive the first mystery boxes of the evening.
And I see some pretty close numbers there in the chat, but
I see one.
Yeah. Oh, I already see the first one. See the
I
chat.
see it. I see at least. I see now 3 times. Okay. Now, and they all have the exact same timestamp. So we do have to wait for Nate.
It's confusing. We got to wait for Nate. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to wait for Nate to actually claim it. But it is between 50 and 60. We do see the number up there multiple times. So we will have winners this evening. And we will see who Nate claims or saw as his first 2.
And the chat just jumped again on me. It always does.
Yep.
That just happens. But lots of numbers coming in very fast. And you guys are doing well. This is the first time that I've seen it come very soon to the top of the chat. And let's see. I see Nate. I think he's calling it. And yes, it is. Nate has spoken. My flea market
was number 50. So it goes to Jerry at My Flea Market Treasures and Lemon. So it goes to Darlene. So congratulations to both Darlene and to Jerry for picking up the first mystery boxes. All right.
Great job, guys.
Since I'm on the road, a lot of what I have with me, I basically had to bring with me from my trip. So it's stuff that was easy to pack and was kind of flat. So I have a lot of ephemera tonight. And this is one of them. And it just happens that this is also an item that I have 2 of these. So it is, let me get rid of, there we go.
All right,
it
Nate.
Is a set. This is a multiple, so Nate doesn't get a breather. He has to also track the next one. What this is it's a twofer. I've got, and it just happened that I think these must have been given out as maybe at a grocery store or something, because they were paired together twice. So I have 2 of these twice. So I think hopefully I'm describing that. Anyway, you've got a small Cooking with Sweet and Low recipe book. Got some great graphics on both the front and the back. And it says is on the very bottom, it says something about Farm Journal. So I don't know if maybe that's who distributed this, because inside the copyright is a Sweet and Low copyright. So it's 1965, done by Sweet and Low, but it is a little packet with some recipes inside with some illustrations, and then kind of like a fold out brochure with more recipes, but no illustration. So it's just 2 color. It's got the Sweet and Low, the Sweet and Low logo on the front. So it's things like you can do freezing. It has freezing instructions, canning instructions, making applesauce. So, okay, yeah. So this one is actually all home canning and freezing recipes. This one is a granulated sugar substitute recipe for cakes and frostings, cookies, pies, rolls, muffins, desserts. So you've got a brownie recipe. And I didn't mention it, but if you are watching my channel, my 51st birthday is coming up. So hashtag Trusty's birthday party. You need to find a recipe that predates 1970, the year I was born. So this actually fits the bill. And I'm doing a video challenge collaboration where you find a recipe, share the recipe, make the recipe, and eat the recipe all on air. So you've got some great recipes in here. And it looks like on this case, you use 2 teaspoons of sweet and low to go into the brownies, which they identify as 9 packets. So they make it easy on you when you're trying to measure out the sweet and low. So you've got this booklet, which is actually a pretty decent length. It's 48 pages. Got some calorie requirements there in the back, and the little fold-out brochure. So you get two items in the lot, and I happen to have 2 of these lots available. And you can get the lot of sweet and low recipe books for $5. $5 for the sweet and low recipe books, $5 by giving me number 48. $5.48 for the sweet and low recipes.
Gosh, I haven't thought about sweet and low in so long, but I remember going to restaurants with those little plastic containers and seeing the sweet and low inside. But I
use sweet and low in my tea all the time, but I've never cooked with it. I will have to admit, I've never tried to use it as an actual sugar substitute.
I know you can cook with Splenda. There is some baking recipes with Splenda.
Okay.
And I see Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying that he's browsing a 1932 Good Housekeeping right now, looking for something to bake for your birthday party, Patrick. That will be fun. I don't see any takers on those. So
now nobody wants to cook with their sweet and low. That's okay. All right. Next item. I always like to try and have, when I've got Katie as my voice from above, I always try and have some sort of a brooch to honor Katie. And this was one that I thought was adorable. And I kind of felt had a little bit of a Halloween motif going on. And I believe it's 2 brooches. Would this count as a sweater clip, Katie?
I think technically, yes, you could wear that as a sweater clip.
So I didn't know sweater clips had the regular safety pin, the pin backs, or if those actually were clips. So, but it's kind of like, it seems like something you'd wear on your collar, because only the 2 outer pieces have the pins, and then the star in the middle is just, it just kind of dangles in between.
Yeah, you can clip those to your collar. Usually sweater clips have the actual clips, but you could use it as either or.
Okay. So this one does, each of these does have pins, so you could just arrange them, as your own little piece. Now, Katie's talked a lot about her brooches and kind of the designs and some of the histories. This has that, like the white metal, that cross hatching pattern on the back. That, I would think that makes this a little bit more modern. Is that something that you recognize in the way the pin backs are made?
Yeah, typically that cross hatching, in my experience, usually dates that like 80s and 90s.
Okay.
So it does seem a bit newer. I don't think we're looking at 50s here, but it is a really amazing Halloween piece here.
Yeah, and it's got the rhinestones kind of, they're set in there, and then they've got the really nice solid back. That's where those little bumps on the back, that's where the stones are set. So it is, I just thought it was a neat piece. And you've got the moon with the stone, with the little clear rhinestones in there. You've got the star also with a little clear rhinestone in that. And you have the moon. So you've got the moon, well, technically 2 moons. Or maybe that's supposed to be the sun. Is that the sun and the moon? Maybe he's the sun.
But I think he's got more of that vintage moon face that you see with.
Yeah, so I guess we got 2 moons. I'm not really sure. But it's just kind of a cute little pin. And it's in perfect condition, no chips, no cracks, and it is $10. So $10 for the little double pin with the hanging stone or a star in between. $10 by giving me number 63. $10.63 for the pin set.
That is a great set, Patrick, and I love the idea of wearing that with a witch's cape and a witch's hat for Halloween. That would be so fun. And that was quite a popular item. Holy moly. All right, I got to wait for Nate here to determine who got this, because wow, oh, wow, folks, that was coming in fast.
Well, that's good to know.
Okay, let's see what Mr. Nate says in New Zealand, and it goes to Catherine Young. So congratulations, Catherine. you can wear that in your upcoming Halloween collaboration video.
Excellent. And if you missed it, Katie has issued a Halloween collaboration challenge. Why don't you talk a little bit about the video that you just posted for your upcoming collaboration?
Sure, Patrick. I just posted a video on Wednesday talking about a new collaboration I'm doing. It's the very first YouTube open collab I'm hosting. Anyone that has a YouTube or Instagram can join in on that. And all you have to do is create a vintage themed Halloween ephemera bowl and fill it with all kinds of Halloween ephemera. The challenge being that the bowl does have to be vintage. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And it was a great idea that Patrick had for my first collaboration.
I'm looking forward to it. Now I've got to figure out what to find. And if you watch her video, she's giving us a little bit of a break because Halloween ephemera is hard to come by. So you have to start with a vintage bowl, but she's letting us be a little bit adaptive in either we could even print stuff off from the internet or reproduction pieces that have that vintage look. So
yeah,
she's giving us some flexibility, but you got to have the vintage bowl. So be on the lookout for that that collaboration. And you wanted it posted on the 20th, correct?
The 20th, it's set to go live at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, that's interesting. So Soul Nate says that you celebrate Halloween, don't you, Nate? It's just
they don't celebrate Halloween.
Oh, they don't celebrate Halloween at all? Oh, okay.
I thought that was fascinating when Nate said that. I was like, whoa, wait.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I knew that like we've turned it into something, but I thought it was something that was the All Hallows Eve type thing was universal. So interesting. But because I had a little bit of Halloween, I'm also adding some more Halloween. So because I was traveling, I didn't have as much opportunity this week to promote some of my items, and I had to cheat because this was in a video haul that I did a couple weeks ago, and I did a screenshot from the video to just say, hey, I do have a sale coming up, and this is one of them. And this is just one of those pieces that, first of all, we're going to do some age testing here. How many people recognize this? I don't know, Katie. I don't think you're old enough. Did you have these growing up in your home? These crochet doll creations?
No, not particularly, but I do remember going to people's houses growing up that had them. So I recognize them, but we never had anything like that.
So admittedly, we never had a cool witch like this. We had more the doll with the decorative skirt, and ours covered our toilet paper roll. This one, lifting her skirts. This one is covering a Renews It. So we've got a Renews It witch in our crocheted. So we've got the crocheted, the hat with the little ribbon on there and the little orange pom-poms. She's got her great white hair, doll head going onto it. She's got her own little broom. Now, admittedly, the broom, I think at one point was glued to her skirt, and somewhere over time that has become disconnected. You can cover it up so you don't see it, or you can try and re-glue it. But because I'm going to ship it, I didn't really feel like the need to re-glue it. And I'm going to keep the Renews It container in here just because it actually helps keep the form. But if you wanted, they still sell Renews It in this shape. So if you want to buy another one, yeah, the Renews It is definitely dried up, Kara. There is no scent coming out of it, but it is what's holding her upright. Oh, we're covering her eyes there. So we've got the Schnazzy Witch, the black and I'm pretty sure that would be considered crochet. The black crochet, she actually has a double skirt. So like there was some actually like real effort put into making her. And so just in time to do all of your Halloween decoration, you've got the Crocheted Witch Renews It cover, and you get it for $15. $15 for the Crocheted Witch, $15 by giving me number 86. $15.86 for the Crocheted Kitchen Witch.
And a lot of work really went into that with the double skirt there. That's pretty remarkable.
I can't really tell how it was pieced together. Like, I can't tell if this is all, I think this is all one piece. So I don't know if you make the sleeves and then somehow sew those onto it. I don't really know enough about how people do the crochet to know like how it's kind of assembled. But it was just one of those cool pieces that I'm like, the minute I saw it, like I said, I never had the witch, but I had this flashback. Our bathroom was all purple. It was made in the 60s. So we had a lavender toilet, a lavender tub, and a lavender sink. and our little doll crocheted toilet paper cover was also lavender. Everything in our house was purple. In
And
the bathroom.
Hannah Overstreet is picking up number 86. Yes, my elderly neighbor Maybell has all of those crocheted covers for her toilet paper in the shape of angels. She's a big fan of the lace and the angels.
We also had, and I saw this at a flea market actually not that long ago. So they're still being made, but the kitchen towels that you cut it, they cut them in half and then they crocheted just at the top.
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
a little button on them so that you could actually attach them to the front of your either to like your handle on one of your drawers or like the front of your oven. And I saw that as a flashback in time because I didn't realize people were still doing those. So I thought that was hilarious. But absolutely, Delbert, you do not want your toilet paper or your Renewsit to get dusty. So you've got a great cover. So congratulations, Jana, for picking that piece up.
And thank Nate for being a rock star and being our big help in the chat. What Nate says is the final word, and he is awesome. So thanks, Nate.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nate. I didn't mean to bring like multiple holiday stuff. It just, when I was grabbing the smalls, I just ended up with holiday stuff. And so that was obviously Halloween. I wanted to make sure I sold that now. But I also have some Christmas. So this actually came from the same location. This was, so it was a very crafty home that I appeared to have found. And this is, I don't know what you would consider this. It is not like the fabric that has the holes in it, like I'm used to seeing the counted cross stitch, but it is showing X's. So I don't know if this is just a form of embroidery that looks like that, or what the case is. I don't know if this is considered linen. I mean, I guess technically there is a grain to this, but it's not what I'm used to seeing for counted cross stitch. So, okay. So Kelly is saying it's considered cross stitch. It's on a regular piece of fabric, which is, I guess I'm just more used to seeing it on the stuff that is designed for cross stitch. Kimsey is saying the same thing. Okay. So Fluffy Otter saying stamped cross stitch. I'm not sure, because I'm glad you said that, because I was looking really closely to see if the pattern was actually marked on there. And if you look really, really closely underneath the numbers, there's like a little blue line. I do not know what that was for, but I do believe those were stamped on. There's no stitch there. So I don't know if that's where you're supposed to hang. It's an advent calendar for those. I guess I wasn't explaining what this was. It's an advent calendar. You can see 1 through 24. You're supposed to do something to indicate the dates. So I don't know if you would put like a little pin in there, or if there was nothing else with it to indicate what, how you would cover the number. If you want to do a big corsage pin or something. So Kelly is saying that it's water soluble. So maybe it's possible this was never washed. Maybe that was just
interesting.
Maybe that was just to mark where you wrote the numbers, and maybe the numbers were colored, but I can't really tell. It is handmade. Like you can tell kind of from the back, you can tell this is handmade. Patricia's got a really good idea. Sew a ribbon and candy, or even like a little candy canes to kind of stick to it.
That's
so anyway. Fun. Yeah, I mean, I think you could just have some fun with this. So it's a finished piece. You just have to kind of have some level of creativity to mark off how you would show the dates. Like even if you could find a cool Christmas pin, you could pin it over each number, to mark the dates. Like there would be a lot of things you could do. Katie 2.0 is saying do a little tie, like a little package, a ring, and then tie on a package. There'd be a couple things, a couple ways you could do that. So it is a very cute, in my opinion, is a very cute advent calendar that I just realized I didn't measure. So being wily, because I didn't bring my tape measure, it is slightly more than a piece of paper. So it's about 11.25 inch across. And if I double it up, it's about 9 inches. It's about 18. So it's like 11 by 18-ish is the size. There is, I didn't notice this. There is actually a little pocket So I think you could run a dowel rod through there to be able to hang it. So you could do a really long dowel rod, tie a nice, really decorative cord ribbon or something on it, and then you'd be able to hang it from the wall. So it's just a really cute piece, definitely handmade, but it just adds to the quaintness. And it's only $8. So $8 for the handmade cross stitch advent calendar, $8 by giving me number 33, $8.33 for the advent calendar.
And you really can do a lot with that. I remember one of the advent calendars we had growing up had a piece of Velcro, and each little thing that was Velcroed to the front had a different design. So we had like a tree, a candy cane, a bear, and then there was a pocket at the bottom. And when you took those off, you could put them down in the pocket down below. So lots of fun things. And I see there's a couple of people looking for that item. And Mr. and Mrs. Berkeley Girl, the other Katie, is picking up that fabulous item.
Excellent. Congratulations, Katie. I don't remember really. I know we did advent calendars growing up. I think we did more the paper ones that you opened up the little window and there was usually candy or something in there. But we did one for our daughter when she was growing up. It was a wool one, and it had little pockets in there that fit a little Hershey's miniature. It was just the perfect size for that. So you got a little piece of chocolate, but then in each one we had 25 Christmas books. And so we would have the name of each book, and we'd tuck that behind each piece of chocolate. And so every evening before she went to bed, she would get her piece of chocolate, and then she'd get a Christmas book, and we'd read together as a family. And that was a tradition that we still have done, pretty much up until she left for college. So books were always really big in our house, and the Advent book calendar was a really big deal. So
that's fantastic.
Love Advent calendars.
We had an advent calendar once, and when I was little, I ate all the chocolate out of it. I'm so guilty.
I'm sure Louie is hoping you get an advent calendar so she can eat anything that's in the advent calendar that you get this year.
Oh yes, I'm sure she's anxiously awaiting that.
Yes, keep her away from the chocolate. We definitely don't want doggies to have chocolate.
Or no girly candles.
There, exactly. She finds enough stuff to eat. All right, the next item I have is actually something that is coming from my personal collection. It is an item that I purchased from another vintage reseller, and I purchased it for my collection, and I thought it was beautiful. It looked great in my collection, but I will admit, and if you look at it really, really closely as I'm holding it exactly right like this, you can see the item that I look at every time I look at this dish. It's in this medallion right here. There's a piece of the enamel or the piece of the decoration work that has been scraped, somehow has fallen out. So it's this beautifully chased dish that for whatever reason, somehow the piece that was in here fell out. Now, you hold it the right way, you can barely tell it. I can't take my eyes off of it personally. But it is a beautiful dish. And if you put this as a candle with a candle in it, which is really what it would be designed for, you really wouldn't see it. But I wasn't using it as a candle holder. I was using it as a dish amongst some of my other gold pieces. Once again, my philosophy is quality over quantity. I had it in my collection for several months, but I've added to my collection, and this suddenly was no longer having a home. I'm selling it for less than I paid for it because I do not believe the damage was disclosed to it when I bought it. It's whatever. I took it. I thought it was a fair price, but I'm disclosing it very much to you. There's basically, you can kind of see there's two areas of it that are just not the same as the others, but it is a gorgeous brass dish. Just as that darkened, I don't even know do you know what you would call that? Like, I don't think this is particularly old, but there's some sort of darkening. And I want to say yellow work, but I don't know if that's for brass.
I don't know what the official term of this would be called.
So it's whatever it is. I want to be very, very clear that there are areas where that is not uniform, but it is still a beautiful dish. It still would make a great accent. And as you move into the rusty, crusty, and dusty, this is a piece of metal work. It's not worth what I paid for it. That's maybe a little bit harsh. I don't feel it's worth what I paid for it. So I'm selling it for less than I paid. I'm selling it for $5. So you get it as it is. It's a beautiful dish. I actually think it looks kind of like it would be great for Christmas time. They kind of look like stained glass windows, but it's $5 little brass dish. It would look great in a lot of different collections for $5 by giving me number 49. $5.49 for the little brass dish.
Yes, and I see lots of people saying that there are tons of uses for it, and there are. You could put your coins in it, your brooches, even use it as a little candle dish if you wanted to.
I want to say that I would say that's probably what it's for. It does have a like, it's a little concave, so it would be great for coins too. It just wouldn't hold a lot. But I pictured like a little pillar calendar would sit nice in there. I actually had some crystal pieces from a chandelier were sitting in it. But all that did was magnify the damage. So, all right, no takers, no problem. I understand, but I also, like I said, I don't believe the damage was disclosed when I bought it. So I just wanted to make sure it was disclosed. So I may have hurt myself from selling it, but hey, I'm the trusty huckster. I don't want you buying anything or getting anything with surprises. So the next item was a really fun find. I do offer, I don't know if Barb's still here. She might recognize these. I come across restaurant wear on occasion. It's always one of those cases. What are the designs that people are looking for? What people, what do they like to have in their collection? Barb has a big collection of it, so she's hardly ever adding, standard pieces. But these I found, I've never come across them with the atomic star.
That is so cool.
So suddenly you've got these little, I believe they're condiment dishes, although they're a little big. So maybe they're berry bowls or maybe even like a small ice cream bowl. I mean, if you can kind of compare it, you can use it as a coaster for a pop can. So it's a little bigger than a condiment bowl, but like that kind of general shape. But as opposed to being traditional restaurant wear that's just white and nondescript, you suddenly have a mid-century modern, beauty going into it with those gold starbursts built into it. They are both marked as pieces of Syracuse. I didn't look up these dates to know what year they were made, but they're both marked Syracuse, China, USA 90-C. So I don't know if they were made in 1990, because I know some of them, that 2-digit number is the year. So maybe these are a little bit later. But they've got that mid-century modern starburst. They're in perfect condition. There's no scratches or anything to the starburst. And there's no chips or cracks to the actual dishes themselves. So you get the pair of them for $8. $8 for the pair of atomic dishes. $8 by giving me number 2. $8, number 2 for the restaurant wear.
Those are fantastic. And I do want to announce that Val M did pick up number 49. I think people are lagging a little bit. So take this moment, folks, and refresh. Make sure you are in live chat, not top chat. And just come back in and come back to the feed, and you should be good to go. And that
Thank you, Al. That 49 is a little brass dish. So thank you for picking that up.
And Lemmy Lemon is picking up number 2. I knew that starburst piece would be popular. We all love our atomic starburst. Just a great design.
Absolutely. It was a fun find because I've had some restaurant wear that, to be honest, it hadn't sold. And it's like, okay, well, what are people looking for? I don't personally have any restaurant wear in my collection. Do you do anything with restaurant wear, Katie?
I don't, but now that you have those starburst dishes, I may have to be on the lookout for.
On the lookout for it. You never know what's going to add to the collection. So yeah.
And I like Tim Z's comment. You can put cottage cheese or applesauce in it. There's a restaurant here that has great fresh shrimp, and they bring out little hush puppies in a dish that size.
Oh yeah, as you say, it's just a small dish. Like I originally bought them. I was thinking they were condiment, but I think they're just too big for that. So yeah, cottage cheese would be perfect. Actually, to me, that'd be a little big because cottage cheese I think is disgusting. But that's a whole other discussion. All right, so we got Katie on. So we're going to talk about vintage vinyl. We're going to talk about pseudo vintage vinyl.
Oh,
we've
fun!
got a red Skelton Pledge of Allegiance cardboard record. So this was issued by Burger King, and it is, I don't know, Katie, were these designed to be cut out, or were they even left in the square shape?
Most of them I've seen were left in the square shape. Now, when you get into the flexi discs, which were sold in magazines, a lot of people did cut those out. But I do believe that they were made to be square, because when you play these discs on your turntable, sometimes you need something a little heavier to actually get it to play correctly. So that's why on the side you'll notice they say that you can place like a small coin or something like that onto the discs itself in the center by the center hole. And that way it kind of puts some weight on it, balances it out, and makes it easy to play.
Now, how would these have been given? So this clearly was promoted by Burger King. Was this like, I don't know, did they have Happy Meals in the 70s? It says that this was recorded in 1969. So I'm assuming this was, given out maybe a little after that. So in the early 70s, how would you have received this? Was this like a mail order thing, or would this been something you got at the restaurant?
I think it was a giveaway at the restaurant. I have seen those before, and there was something about a Burger King challenge that they issued. And I don't know if it's this Burger King record or there's another Burger King record. Maybe that's the McDonald's record I'm thinking of. But there was a record challenge that they issued, and if you got a certain record and you played it and it actually had the right wording in it, you could win a big prize. But I don't think anyone actually won. That record, they just mass produced them. There were so many of them. But this one probably was given away, I'm assuming, at the restaurant. I don't think you would have mailed in for it.
Okay. Well, and Melody is properly shaming me for referring to a Burger King product as a Happy Meal. I don't know. What did Burger King have the equivalent of a Happy Meal? I just it's a universal term. So
I don't know. I don't eat at Burger King, to be quite honest with you. We only have one here, and the service is not particularly great. So I'm not sure, but that's a very cool piece.
And a lot of people are recognizing Red Skelton, and I'm wondering, I don't think anyone came up with the name of his clown. Do you remember the name of his clown, Katie?
I don't, probably because I'm a little bit afraid of clowns, so I'll clean them out of my brain. So I don't know.
Well, it's also you're into the vintage, but yeah, this would not necessarily be something you would know. Emmett Kelly was, I believe, was his clown. But anyway, for whatever reason, they've got a person known for being a clown character reading the Pledge of Allegiance. I just find that bizarrely, quaint. So it is a Burger King record. It's a great red, white, and blue. Like if you decorate your vignettes for the 4th of July, Labor Day, Memorial Day, you've got a great red, white, and blue item specifically with the Pledge of Allegiance. And it's very lightweight, so it won't be much to ship. Oh, Freddie the Freeloader. Okay, I was wrong. So Freddie the Freeloader. Thank you, Southern Buckeye. So Pledge of Allegiance done by Freddie the Freeloader himself, Red Skelton, and it's only $5. So $5 for the little record. And luckily, he is not painted as one of his clowns. He just happens to be a clown, but as Red Skelton. I don't know if his clowns had voices, but I'm assuming this was done in his own voice. So $5 for the Pledge of Allegiance Burger King record. $5 by giving me number 70. $5, number 70, Burger King.
And now, I love that
cardboard, like these types of cardboard records. Do you have many of those in your collection?
I have a couple. I have a lot of flexi discs, actually. I'm fascinated by the flexi discs. I do have a couple of cardboard records. I just picked up some cereal box records from Daniel, and those are always really, really fun. And I see number 70 going to Halem Nassif, so what a fun pickup there. But yeah, they're just great little novelty records. They weren't meant to sound particularly awesome, but if you got something free and you could go home and play it, that's pretty exciting. So I love those. And you'd be surprised, those cereal box records that are sold on the back of cereal, some of them, like the Jackson 5, can be quite valuable.
Excellent. All right. Well, congratulations, Halem, for picking that up. I actually have a flexi disc coming up in a future sale. I didn't bring it to this sale, but I'll probably bring it to the next road sale because it's easy to pack. But it's the black with that flexi on it. All right, easy to pack again were my vintage postcards. So we've got a set of vintage postcards here. These are Easter themed. So again, I don't know how I got into the different holidays, but I just realized I've got the wrong card, so I will have to come up with a new one. But this one gives you, they're all Easter themed. So you've got this cross form that says Easter greetings, and you've got this little farmhouse in the back. This one has not been posted. And then you've got an adorable little Easter bunny. It says a happy Easter. And you got the Easter bunny kind of hanging out on an egg, which I believe those are forget-me-nots. So you've got that. That's also unposted. And then this one was posted 1909. Unfortunately, the stamp was taken from it from a stamp collector. So you still have the postmark in Pennsylvania, 1909. It looks like it came from Lavelle, Pennsylvania, and it was being mailed to Rochester, New York. It is also peaceful Easter to you, and it's got another floral motif on that one. So I thought this, I have 2 lots of these. I only have one of them here. And I thought this was the one that were all postmarked. These are not postmarked. So this is a cheaper price as I disappear off the screen. And this one is the set of 3 cards because there is no stamp. The one is postmarked is a set of 3 for $6. So $6 for the vintage Easter cards, $6 for the set by giving me number 42. $6, number 42 for the set of Easter cards.
Those are so fantastic. I always love the little Easter bunny graphics on those, but the fact that these postcards survived over the years is always something that's just amazing to me. And we've got Reclaimed Treasures by Mary picking that up, number 42. And just a quick note, folks, the eBay auction will end in 7 minutes. So we are at $45 still, I believe, for the wonderful 1920s, 30s car base. So check that out. Nate just put the link in the chat.
But who else can't see an Easter bunny with the egg without thinking of the Cadbury bunny?
Oh, yes. Oh, those Cadbury eggs are so good. I could eat my weight in those.
I just always think of the little bunny that was trying to cheap like a bird because of the Cadbury Easter eggs. So doesn't even do the Cadbury, but anytime I see a bunny and an egg, which is just a weird combination. But congratulations, Mary. Thank you for picking those up. And Mary is doing her kickoff to October live sale. Her sales are on Thursdays on the Reclaimed Treasures by Mary channel. I believe, drop what time it is, what time your show is. I want to say it was 3 p.m. Eastern, but I don't remember. So Mary, if you want to share that.
Very cool. And always an iconic ad that you just mentioned, Patrick.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Next item, I've got another pair of mystery boxes coming up. So what I started doing last week, and this is somewhat in honor of the fact that I'm coming on to my 2-year anniversary of being a reseller. Not quite to 2 years of being a YouTuber, but I opened my Etsy store on October 6th of 2019. So I'm coming up on the 2-year mark. And so what I'm doing with the mystery boxes, I'm going to continue doing the standard mystery boxes. But what I introduced last week, and it was popular, so I'm doing it again. So I'm still going to do a mystery box. It'll still be filled similarly to the mystery boxes that I've already been creating, but I'm making it a mega mystery box, and I'm marking up the price and making it a $25 mystery box. And the difference will be, and this will be something that I may only do during my anniversary time, or I might continue it, who knows. But what will be included in the mystery box is one item that by itself is worth $10 or more. So if you're familiar with my mystery boxes, they're usually going to have between $25 and $30 worth of items in there, but they're going to have between 10 and 15 small items that just each have a little bit of a value. So what this will do is you're going to still have all of those little items just because it's fun to open up. People like opening all the little smalls, but there will be one item in there that will by itself jump the value by at least another $10. So these I'm selling at $25. So I'm going to do 2 of them. So this is, again, this is the mega mystery box. So these are $25. They work the same way. I will still try and customize them the best I can to the distance. So that the item that I put in there is more valuable. If I'm shipping it to California, I'll try and make sure it's a lighter weight item. But these are items I'll be pulling off of my Etsy store, or I'm purchasing specifically for this. And you'll have one, I think all the stuff's in there people seem to like, but there'll at least be one item that has that additional value. So this item is, well, thank you, Beth. This item is $25 mystery box. So for $25, you will again guess the number, and it's the first 2 Thank you, Jeannie. Is the first two people that get this number, which falls, you have to guess it, which falls between 60 and 70. So 60 and 70. So the number is between 60 and 70. The first two people will each get a mega mystery box.
Oh, the mega mystery box idea is just awesome, Patrick. And you're right, Beth. Patrick has some great mystery boxes. I've gotten one and I loved everything in it. It was just so fantastic. And wow, these numbers are flying in fast. And I already see
one.
Let's see. I already see the first.
Okay, I see another one. All right, so I see it at least twice. So now we'll see who are the first two.
Okay, Nate. We're waiting for your call. Nate is always the expert at this. He's very on point. And I see it again. So you guys are really guessing well tonight. That's always impressive when you have that mental telepathy there with Patrick. Wow. And I'm waiting for Nate. You know, the numbers come in so fast and always at the same time. We say this a lot, but it's just always amazing to me to see that on the stream. You see that same timestamp at 8:56. And I see Nate there coming in. Oh, so congratulations.
The number was number 61. So it looks like it goes to Halem and to Deb Riley.
Congratulations, guys. You're going to love the mystery box.
Absolutely. Congratulations for getting both of you for getting the mystery box. And we've got 3 minutes left on the eBay item. I believe it is still currently at the $45 mark, and that is the car vase. The auction will end in 3 minutes. So you've got a couple minutes to pick up. It's up to $45. They do typically sell for more than that. So we will see where that one finishes up. And then I will show you the next item that is going up for auction at the top of the hour. All right, back to a holiday item. This one is going back to a Halloween item. This I also showed. This was one of the items that I picked up in a haul video, and it was one of the only items I showed in my preview for Instagram because I stole it off of the screenshot. So we have the vintage ceramic hobbyist piece of a ghost. So it is, as most hobbyist pieces were made back in the time, it does have the initials of the hobbyist. Looks like it was maybe SM or MS were the initials. You can kind of see the M is wrapping down over, kind of covering the bottom of the S. I tried to hold it different ways to see if it was trying to say something else, but I think I don't know why the S is so much bigger than the M. So I'm not really sure which one is the primary. But it was very simple. It has a white glaze to it with the eyes and the mouth dotted with black. Very simple piece. But I don't come across vintage Halloween all that often. Probably 70s, maybe going to the 80s. I made this, as I've talked before, my mother had a ceramic studio in our basement. So I grew up making these things left and right. And if I look really hard, I probably still have some. But it is let's see, it's probably 5 inches tall, maybe 4.5 inches tall. You know, he's not a massive size, but he is a cutie, and he is only $6. So $6 for the $6 for the little ceramic ghost. $6 by giving me number 26. $6, number 26 for the ceramic ghost.
That would just be so fantastic, and a little vignette next to your candy bowl, and just be
or in the middle of your ephemera bowl. He could just be holding court for your Halloween ephemera.
He sure could. That would be fantastic. So if you win him, maybe you can put him in the Halloween ephemera bowl challenge. Hey, Catherine Young's picking up number 26. You're going to have a fun collection of little Halloween items. So congratulations, Catherine.
Excellent. So congratulations on the ghost. Glad you picked that up because she had seen it in my videos, and I don't know if she had actually asked to buy it, but I'd already said I was going to put it in my live sale. So once I announce it's going to go in a live sale, I don't allow private sales. So
Melody's asking who's dog sitting Huck.
Huck is kind of like a cat. He kind of gets to entertain himself until I get home. So Huck is very content, just sitting out, hanging out on his little half wall.
He'll be
All right,
glad to
the
get
next
some pet
item is
trouble.
let's see. So we are okay. You know what? I'm going to skip because I have some Notgeld. So somebody
Oh,
must be
Nate,
asking
get
about
ready.
Notgeld, so I've got some. And it's because it's easy to carry. So I have, so I don't know who is, that's Melody must have been asking about it. So if you're not familiar with Notgeld, I've talked about this a couple of times and I ended up finding some to have on the sale. It is basically, it's also considered inflation currency. And so I've got two pieces that I'm going to sell as a lot, and this happens to be one of them. Both of the ones I'm going to show are only two color illustrations or two color printing, which is why I'm including them. So this one, you've got this elaborate illustration. I originally thought it might have been Sisyphus, but Sisyphus was alone. So I don't know why there's three men trying to remove this rock. But each of the inflation currencies were issued by a region, a state, something within Germany after the end of World War II. And this one, even though it's all written in German, it's very clearly indicated there on the bottom that this was from 1920. What was happening was at the end of the war, because of war reparations and some of the costs that the Treaty of Versailles required Germany to pay the countries for what they cost during the war, the German government started running out of money. And so what they started issuing were things called Notgeld. And Geld is just like gold. So Notgeld it's like gold, but it's not gold, because what these were effectively treated as were IOUs. And so the idea of this one, it would have been provided by the state or by the country government. It said, okay, we don't have 25 Pfennig to give you, but you can turn this in for the equivalent of 25 Pfennig. And the reason some of these still end up in pretty good condition is because very shortly after that, as we reached into 1923, inflation got so far out of control that a loaf of bread would sell for 1 million Reichmarks. And so you ended up having something that was only 25 Pfennig, literally wasn't even worth the paper it was printed on. So if this weren't turned in, there would have been no use for it. But as a historic document, as a historic marker, these were legitimate currencies that were owned by and this is what happens, after war. The people of the country were the ones that were hurt by this, because literally this, like a bank could give you this saying, oh, I'm sorry, I can't give you any money. I'm going to give you an IOU and you have no choice. And then that IOU, if you didn't turn it in, suddenly 25 Pfennigs in 1922 wasn't worth what 25 Pfennigs was worth in 1920. So it's just a very weird thing. I'm not sure what Nate's. So we're talking about spring and winter. So this is one of them. So I've got two that I'm offering in this sale. So this is a 25 Pfennig, very clearly marked from 1920, and then this one, and that one only has the illustration on the front, but it does only have the two color illustration. This one, trying to get it out of its sleeve so you don't have a glare. This one is actually illustrated on both sides. And so some of these are, in my opinion, they are just like beautiful works of art. So you've got this church. So this one was actually issued by the state of Glogau, which I do not know where that was located. So like I said, sometimes they were issued by the government, but most of the times they were actually created, and the artwork was done locally. So it would show, like, I'm sure this church probably exists in Glogau. So it was something that, we're supposed to give you 10 Pfennig, but we don't have it. So here's a really pretty picture and we'll turn it into something else later. And then on the back, you've got, it looks like a king of some sort. You've got the Glogau, you've got some sort of poem, and then the 10 Pfennig. And this one is also dated 1920. So they're absolutely gorgeous pieces. They're in absolutely pristine condition. These are done, again, they only have two color illustrations. Some of them go into full color. So these two I'm pairing together, and I'm selling the pair for $9. So $9 for the pair of Notgeld, $9 by giving me number 13. $9, number 13 for the pair of Notgeld.
Oh, that is just fantastic. And I bet Nate is going to be really anxious to see if he can get those, because he has bought so much Notgeld lately. It is just amazing.
Yeah, we're definitely looking to see. If you don't follow Nate's Instagram, first of all, he's a great curated Instagram in general. But I basically take sole responsibility for turning Nate into a Notgeld junkie, and he has been buying left and right, and he will be showcasing a lot. And such a nice guy, Nate. I was being honest because I'm assuming the fact that he says that Sam must have been the one that actually got in there and got the Notgeld. So that's okay, Nate. I've got some Notgeld. It just got mailed to you last week before I left, so you'll have some freebies coming in. So stud with a stash.
Congratulations, Sam.
Sam got the Notgeld. So, and they're just beautiful little pieces. And if you like, Sam has the collection of international cruise menus. Sam is buying as a gift.
I suspected maybe, but that's very kind, Sam.
That's very kind, Sam. All right, that's very sweet of you. But I was going to give Sam credit that if he was building an international collection, but that's okay. He is gifting them to Nate, so that is very kind.
But Sam has a great Instagram and a great collection of travel menus as well.
Yes, so Sam is the owner of Dining at Sea, so he has a personal one as well as the cruise, the vintage cruise menus. So Dining at Sea, and he did a deep dive with me prior to Katie and I joining forces that you can find on my channel. So since we're talking about the war, I will throw another wartime item in, and this one is something that, admittedly, when I first purchased it, I was going to separate them because they're ration books. I think people like be cool for an ephemeral. Again, they're kind of like a little snapshot in time that these are American ration books. However, when I realized what I bought, they are serial numbered sequentially. So we've got 776 and 777. And if you look at the names, we've got Ella and Harold Dry Bread. What an unfortunate name. It's the pair of ration books issued to a husband and wife. So I didn't want to split these up. So I'm keeping them together. So these happen to be War Ration Book number 3. They were, let's see. So Harold was a machine hand, and he was 41 at the time of the war. And Ella was a seamer. I don't know if that's like a seamstress. I'm assuming.
I would assume that would be.
I've never heard that term before. A seamer.
Me either.
I wonder if that's like literally, if instead of hemming a dress, if that's like sewing the panels together, where you're making the seam. I don't know. I've never heard that. And she happened to also be 41 at the time. So these are War Ration Books number 3. When you open them up, they appear, at least in this case, not to have been used, because all of the stamps are still in place in the middle. So they didn't turn them in for anything. So this is still, and I take that back. 2 of them were turned in. So you've got 2 ration stamps in the back. Now that one appears, that one has an airplane on it. I'm not sure how the different ration stamps work. That one has an airplane. The ones that weren't used had a boat. And one has a tank, and then the other one has a cannon. Like, these are actually pretty cool. I didn't realize that.
Those are awesome.
So, like, here's an entire sheet of rations 1 through 48 of the tank. Now, I don't know if did you have to turn the tanks in to get flour and turn the planes in to get gasoline? I do not know. And there is a page missing out of this. So some of them got used. So that was Ella's. And then Harold's looks like, no. Oh, that was interesting. Used the exact same 2. Also used the first 2 of the plane. So admittedly, I don't know enough about how these got used. I mean, it says right on the back, this book is valuable. Do not lose it. Each stamp authorizes you to purchase rationed goods in the quantities and at the times designated by the Office of Price Administration. Without the stamps, you'll be unable to purchase those goods. So if you don't need it, don't buy it. So this is rationing. We don't like to think about the fact that America being the land of plenty, yeah, we had rations too. So it is a pair of ration books, sequentially in order, husband and wife. The book number 3. You get both of them for $8. So $8 for the pair of ration books. $8 by giving me number 15. $8 number 15 for the ration books.
Now, I see some people joking in the chat that this person whose last name was Dry Bread must have been a baker. Hilarious. And I also see that the eBay item has officially sold, so that will be interesting to see who got that. And congratulations to Jean Marie for picking up those ration stamps. My grandmother has ration coins somewhere, so I hope she finds those because I'd be interested to see them.
All right, and looks, it was number 15, Jean Marie, and the auction item did actually get a couple extra bids on it, and it went to somebody with the word mint in their eBay channel. So if anybody has the word mint, or they know who bought it, they want to claim that, I can combine shipping if you happen to buy anything else in the evening sale. So congratulations, Jean Marie, for picking up the ration books.
Now, I do not see anyone yet with mint claiming that was their purchase, but I'll keep my eyes out for it.
All right. And so the item that just went live at 8 o'clock is this item. So this is a Jackson 5 tour program or concert program. So like you think back in the day where, instead of playbills or the little things, you had to buy the little souvenir program book. So this is from the Jackson 5 tour. I found it online. Somebody claims it's from 1972. I cannot verify that, but I would say era-wise, it looks about the same. On the back is an ad promoting the animated series of the Jackson 5 on ABC. There's a little bit of foxing on the back. I took pictures of a lot of the books, so people will have a very exact idea of what they're getting for this. But what it is inside is a series of combination of black and white photographs as well as color photographs, many of them full page, suitable for framing, that you have access to all of the photos of the Jackson 5, as well as 2-page bios of the individual members of the 5. So you've got Jermaine. I just opened it randomly. Of course, Michael, I think, was the first one. So you've got the Michael Jackson page, his bio in text, and then also a full page photograph. This one happens to have an insert of Michael. You have the wedding photo of, let's see, Marlon is in here, Jermaine. This would be like a test because I wouldn't be able to name that Jackson 5. You got the wedding photo of Tito. So you got Tito Jackson's wedding photo is in this one. And Jackie, which that didn't ring a bell at all. So those were the 5. But there's some great, some of them are illustrations, some of them are photographs, and it's a souvenir program book. There are several of these already in eBay listed for, to be perfectly honest, very high dollar amounts. I didn't start mine that high. I started mine for what I felt, it to start with. We'll see what it goes for, because I didn't find a lot of comps for this particular album. But it also, and this is what I found really interesting, and I don't know, this might be something we need to do about as a duo dive. I don't think it's going to come in clear, but what I found interesting, that tiny little logo there at the bottom is the Union logo. So this was printed by a Union shop, and I had to magnify it. It's the Amalgamated Lithographer Union. I didn't know that papers were monitored as Union made. So I thought that was actually really kind of interesting, because that makes it a collectible item in and of itself, because there are people that collect the Union label. So this was something in the early 70s that was a Union made program. And I thought that was actually interesting in and of itself.
Oh, that really is, Patrick. Now, I think you've got the date right there, because the Jackson 5 were around from 1968 into the 80s. So that's probably about the right date for that program.
And probably if we find the animated series, that would have been the early 70s as well. So it's, I would say that makes a little bit of sense. All right. Another multiple item that I've got coming up. I've had these some of these decal sets that I picked up before, and I think it's great that Vinny is in the house now. Hi, Vinny. Oops, got the wrong one. Vinny's got his own little French maid there. These are decals. You have the French maid right next to the chef, and then we've also got a butler and another chef. So we've got maybe a housekeeper and a chef. These are made by Duro decals. So I've had some of the now I forgot the name. What's the name of it, Katie? Is it Meyerling?
Meyerling, I think. Meyercord, that's it.
Meyercord. I've had some Meyercord decals before. These I bought at the same time. These are very clearly marked Duro decals. Oh, actually, these are two, just differently. You can see at the very bottom of that square. Those are also marked Duro decals. At the time they were sold, they were 10 cents. And these have the 1-digit, let's everyone say it with me, 1-digit zip code, which means it falls between, what did it fall between, Katie?
1948 and 1963.
There we go. It just annoy your friends. You know, everyone who watches our shows will know all about zip codes, but it is the easiest way to, get at least a range of when these were designed. So you've got basically these decals from the 50s. What I love about them is on the back, you can see their suggestions for how to use them. So they're putting them on the cupboard doors. They're putting them on the sugar canister, the flower vase, the cabinets, the backs of the chairs, the corners of the table. They just want you to decal the heck out of your entire home. And why not when you can put a French maid wherever you want? So you've got the little French maid dusting a little objet d'art there. You've got I'd still say maybe not the home. She's baking. So I guess we just have a chef and a baker. So we've got the chef as well as the female baker. Because I think I don't know what she's making.
It looks like a turkey or a
pie. Maybe it's a turkey. So, and then the butler, I'm assuming, or some sort of doorman carrying an entire stack of bowler hats, which would have made me think this was older because the bowler hats, I think, more of a 30s.
Yeah, I do too.
So like maybe the design was around for a while, but they were offering these again past 1948. So I have 3 sets of these identical sets. So I've got 2 cards. I have 3 of each. So I'm going to sell them as a pair. And the first 3 people that give me the number, I'm selling them for $5. So $5 for a pair. You can put them on your own lead-based high chairs. If you want to have a French maid on your high chair and have your kid in therapy for the rest of his life. So you got these 2 sets of decals. The first 3 people that claim the items, $5. The number is 52. Number 52, $5 for the pair or the 2 sets of decals.
Now, if you follow Magpie Ethel over on Instagram, I know a lot of us love her account. She finds those old decals and puts them onto teacups, saucers, and plates. And I think that is just such a clever use of those decals. And I see Chad over at Shop Retro Days picking up those decals. So I can't wait to see what you do with them.
And I've got 3. So do we have any other claiming beyond that?
Yes, I see Melanie Lippincott. And I'm checking Nate's message. I don't see anybody else. So there's the first 2 to pick up those fun decals.
So you have one set remaining. All right. We talked about the baker. We talked about the chef. So now I've got some recipes. So these were so much fun. I initially had considered separating them. And then I decided once again that these needed to stay together.
Oh, and Steph sells stuff by the seashore is picking up the last one. Congratulations, Steph.
Thank you, Steph, for picking that up. And those should fit in just like a little regular envelope. It shouldn't cost very much to ship those if that's all you buy. And Melanie, you would have been able to buy 2, but unfortunately, Steph snuck in and got that 3rd set. So I apologize. What these are little recipe cards. And it was the size of a recipe card. They're issued by Oster. I'm not going to swear to it, but I think based on the graphics and the 666, I do believe these were issued in June of 1966. because it's after 63, so it's got a 5-digit zip code. What these are, it's a set of 10, and they are little folded up recipe cards. So this one is delicious soups in seconds. It's all folded up so it's fit into a standard recipe book, but it opens to give you all of these great graphics and recipes for making soups. And then the next one is deliciously different at the flick of a switch. It looks like he's making pancakes. So you open this one up.
Oh, look at the graphics on that.
Yeah, so you've got the little pancakes flying in the background. You've got additional recipes for German pancakes, Swedish pancakes. So this is an entire recipe specifically for making pancakes. Foods with a foreign flair. So you open this one up and you've got this great map with, little tourists, and you've got recipes for Danish red cabbage and hazelnut torte, and graphics on the inside of that. All of these different designs are all of these little sets. There's 10 of these little packets. One for casseroles, one's for dips, drinks, and party spreads. Okay, what kind of drinks are they making us? So you've got the little hostess with the mostess serving her drinks.
And she's running so fast, her necklace is coming off.
Yep. And you've just got all these little drawings, little illustrations, Roquefort cheese dips, almond bacon cheese spread, delightful dip, ham spread. Yeah, nothing sounds yummier than that. Chicken liver spread. Okay, I was wrong. Swiss cheese dip. So you've got quick sandwich treats, mini blend. What is it? Mini blend containers, blend and gel. There's your Jello.
Oh, there's the Jello.
Dairy treats, mealtime kitchen tricks, and fresh salad dressings have more zest. So these were obviously issued. I don't know if they would have been issued all at the same time, or maybe this was something you got like one of these in different things. I mean, it's for an Oster kitchen product, so I can't imagine you were like buying 10 different appliances. So maybe you got them as a whole set, but I am keeping them as a set because they're just cool. And 1966, they predate me, so hashtag Trusty's birthday party. You can have the set of 10 of these recipe cards for $12. So $12 for the vintage set of recipe cards with all the graphics, $12 by giving me number 24. $12.24 for the recipe cards.
Oh, what a great little lot there, Patrick. And yes, there will be lots of good recipes for Patrick's birthday, but remember, you have to eat it. So if you pick that one with that didn't sound very good with the ham, then you got to try that live on camera.
Like ham doesn't bother me that much, but when you sometimes go into ham spread, that
it's like, what is that? And number 24 goes to Chad, Retro Days. Congratulations, Chad. And that was a popular item, Patrick. I knew it would be. Those graphics are just to die for.
Excellent. Yeah, because they just, the fact that they opened up, it's just like one of those little magic cards that just keeps opening. And so it's a very condensed packet that'll be very easy to ship. But it has, and I
love the flying pancakes, Jan. It reminds me of my grandfather because he did a pancake day for the Lions Club every year, and he cooked hundreds of pancakes. So I always think of him when I see those fun pancake graphics.
And that in and of itself, like the fact that they had the wherewithal to come up with an actual card set that was just for pancakes. I thought it was going to be all breakfast foods, but the fact that they're all types of pancakes, I didn't realize there were that many. So more ephemera, because again, it was easy for me to pack because it was flat. This was a fun one for a couple of different reasons. So first of all, this is stuff that I just think is fun. This is a vintage table setting book. Now it was issued by, I don't know why their name's not on the front. It was issued by Westmoreland Sterling. So it's from, so I know Melanie and Halem are in the chat. So it's from New Kensington, Pennsylvania, which I'm assuming is where the Westmoreland glass was also made. But this specifically is talking about Westmoreland Sterling silver service. And it is showing you how to set your table using you can use other. Okay, so Melody's saying yeah. So all the Westmoreland was together. This does not refer to the Westmoreland glass at all. There's even table settings on here that include glassware that they do not reference of where it came from. So I don't know if that's Westmoreland glass or that's just like random glass. This is only about the silver. So they're setting all these tables, but they're really giving the details about the silver service that's going along with it. So it has some, like this is like what you would have at a breakfast table, your breakfast menu, and then that's what your breakfast table should look like. It did have the secrets of success in serving family meals and parties. So it gives all these different examples. The lovely, lustrous, solid silver is a woman's proudest possession. All right, Katie, is your solid silver your proudest possession?
Probably not. I think that would have to be Louis.
I was gonna say, like Louis would be jealous, but it does show 7-piece Westmoreland sterling setting in the George and Martha pattern. So it is basically promoting their product, but it's doing it in a way that it's like, oh, but here's how you set a table, and if you want it to look this nice, you should have our silver. So this is the family dinner table.
And Jan Goodwin is asking, is this from the 50s or 60s?
This is another one that it doesn't have a technical copyright on it, but it has a buy war bonds ad.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And at the very bottom, it says 943. And I've been in marketing long enough that internal devices will sometimes have form numbers like that. That would be September 1943. And I would feel pretty solid on that because there's a war bond ad in the back. So we're actually in the 40s. And it's interesting that they're promoting, use your money to buy Westmoreland silver when there's literally a war going on. And the other people were getting ration books. So you've got all these full color photographs of these great tables. That's the luncheon table with a luncheon menu. Okay, so here's a pop quiz. Katie didn't know this was coming. There's an entire section of how to set your table.
Oh, I think I can ace this.
All right, so here's a question. What is the minimum number of candles you should set for a well-set table?
Oh no, that's a tough question. I'm very good with silverware. Let's see, 4 candles.
Very good. So they actually have it. So we've got the wrong and the right. So wrong on 3 counts. There should be at least 4 candles. They should be new, not burned down, and they should stand above the line of vision. And then the correct one is they're fresh, tall enough not to shine in one's eyes, and 4 candles are the minimum for a well-set table. It also talks about how much fruit should go into your centerpiece bowl and how big your flower arrangement should be. And that's kind of common sense. You would never have something that big in the middle of your table you couldn't see.
No.
So, the correct one is the low flower arrangement allows not to be a barrier to conversation. So there's little cutesy things like that, which were extremely serious back then. Useful things to know when buying tableware, how sterling silver sets grow, and then, of course, the listing in the back of the silver patterns that they have from Westmoreland. So you've got this great just little time capsule of how to set a proper table. It's funny that you were talking about like you would know how to set the table, because I think the reason I'm obsessed by this is I had in home economics, everyone of a certain age, home economics, we had to draw how the forks and everything was set up. And I drew my knife with the blade facing away from the plate instead of toward the plate. And I was mocked mercilessly for it, and I've never forgotten it. literally, that was like junior high, and I still remember that the frickin' blade is supposed to face the plate. So yeah, I very enjoy stuff like that. I think it's funny. So
go back to that page, Patrick, because if you notice, the salad fork is on the inside, and I was always taught that goes on the outside.
That is true. You're supposed to go from the outside in.
So I don't know what that is. I'm now puzzled.
Well, and also one of those would be the dessert spoon, and that should be at the top of the plate.
Yep, I was going to say that's not the correct setting.
Yeah, so I guess they were trying to get all of their 7 pieces of silver into the picture.
In one photo. Yeah.
Yeah. So Melody agrees. Salad should be on the outer. And yeah, so you learn, and like let's also be super honest. When you're trying to set a really fancy table, you'd have footmen that would provide you the proper silverware with each course. You wouldn't have every freaking piece of silver out on the table at the same time. So anyway, it's just a cool little booklet. It is written on in the back. Unfortunately, I don't know if that was maybe who gave it, because the top name looks like a stamp. But then underneath it, I'm thinking is the phone number, Newcastle 2218. So I think this is either somebody used this to write a note, or maybe that was the name and address of the distributor of the Westmoreland. So that part I don't know, but it does have handwriting on the back. But it is a all about tables Westmoreland sterling, and it's only $6. So $6 for the table setting book, $6 by giving me number 75. $6.75 for the table setting book.
So my grandmother was always really big into table settings and had all the extra things that would just make a beautiful table. So she taught me very well. But I remember having a home economics class too, Patrick, and we had one kid in our class that just never could get the table setting right. And I can still see our teacher coming by and grading us. We always got docked because the spoon was in the wrong spot. I'll never forget that. And the fact that he liked to make Kool-Aid. We had to have Kool-Aid with every meal. I guess that's all the school had. And he would dump like 6 cups of sugar in the Kool-Aid along with the packet, and it was sickly sweet. I don't know why I'll remember that until the day I die.
It's funny, the stuff we carry with us into adulthood.
Yes.
So. All right, the next item is I've had these off and on in the past. I came across a set of these, and so these are rewards of merit, and so I have a set of 3 of these. Unfortunately, these are very difficult to date. I found an article in a 1970s magazine that talked about these. And it was even saying back then how hard it was to date. But it was funny because the magazine was written about 1972, and they were talking to people who remembered getting these. And so they seem to have started losing favor in the 20s. So they appear to be older than that. So this one is a multicolored one, and it does have who it was presented to, and it does have the name of the teacher. None of these have anything written on the back, so they're not showing what these were provided for. This one doesn't even technically say reward of merit. It just has the floral arrangement. It's a pretty piece, but it shows it was presented to, and then it was given by the teacher's name is going in there. So it looks like, Chad, I see you're picking up the table setting book. So thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Chad. Congrats.
So that you got the multicolored one. This one's a single colored, but I do believe it's a little bit older. So this one has the name of who received it, and then again, the teacher's name. This one's got a very cool little schoolhouse in the back, plus the horse drawn. So this is probably, again, going into around the 1910s, even just based on the handwriting. And then this one, I believe, is the oldest, also single color with an illustration. This is almost looking European as opposed to anything from, America. But you can tell by the font, again, reward of merit. It does specifically say reward of merit presented to, and you've got the name of the recipient plus who is the teacher that gave it. So there's a set of 3 of these. They're just cool little, if you're a teacher, if you know a teacher, your teacher wants to start a cool collection. These were just back in the days, you could give them in between report cards, you could give them at the end. Because you think about, their books didn't have a lot of illustrations in it. There weren't a lot of inexpensive magazines or newspapers that these would have been received by the kids, and they'd been cherished. And that's why they're still around, because it's something that it was pretty to look at. You put it in your mirror, you could frame it, whatever the case may be. It's a set of 3, and you get all 3 of them for $8. So $8 for the set of the reward of merits. $8 by giving me number 34. $8, number 34 for the rewards of merit.
Those are just fabulous, Patrick. I love the graphics on them, and I think in an ephemeral, those would really make a great statement.
Absolutely. There's these small little things. They'll be easy to mail. They can just go into a regular envelope. And it looks like Mary's picking those up.
Congratulations, Mary. I know you do a lot of junk journaling, so I'm excited to see what you do with those.
Yeah, and she picked up those Easter cards too, so I could put them all in a card, just a regular envelope, so it'll be inexpensive to ship out. And yeah, if junk journaling, any of that kind of stuff, I think would be fun. So I've only got a couple of items left. Next one, actually, I've got 3 items left. So the next one, again, easy to ship or easy to carry. I have another set of books. This is for all of those out there who are dying to learn how to play bridge. It's a bridge set, but it's not any bridge set. It's the Charles Gorin's 8 Easy Steps to Winning Bridge. So you get the book, the little, like a little cheater's guide. Gorin helps you improve your play of the cards, plus quick reference and summary, including opening leads. So you get this is kind of like a laminated, you can see the sheen on it. So there's like a laminated card. And you get, most importantly, the official Gorin bidding wheel. Okay, I have no idea how to play bridge, but the fact the fact that you have a bidding wheel just sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. So on the bidding wheel, you can your responses to suit bids are unbalanced hand, show a new suit. And when you spin the little card, it gives you like what you should do. If your response to suit bids is an unbalanced hand, you are supposed to raise your partner's suit bids to 2 with 7 to 10 points. Okay, I didn't understand that sentence, but I guess if I read the book, I would know how to use that. So you've got the bidding wheel, the booklet, and the booklet's actually pretty big. The booklet is 48 pages long, so it's actually a pretty decent sized book. Copyrights on these seem to vary a little bit, that I'm not 100% sure. The back of this one has a reference to G60, so I'm thinking maybe this was in the 60s or from 1960, and that might support the graphics. But in that same argument, that means this one has a 52. I don't think this is from 1952. So I think these are probably, what would you say? I'd say these are all 60s.
Yeah, I would say 60s with that font.
But I will say it falls between 48 and 63 because Minneapolis had a single-digit zip code. So what did you say, Katie? What did you think was the?
Well, I say 60s with the font with the Gorin, but now that I see the other font, I might say late 50s on that one.
Yeah. So and inside there's only the 2 color printing. So I think the little logo on the back, the little card, I think is kind of cool.
He's just awesome. I'm in love with him.
Yeah, I've never seen that logo before. I guess it must be the logo for the Heinz Publishing Company, which I've never heard of. So I don't know if they were specialists in cards, because it's like the king from the cards cutting out a little paper chain of paper dolls of the suits. I mean, that's just too cool. So it's the book, the cheat sheet, and the bidding wheel. You get all 3 of those for $6. So $6 for the Gorin bridge set, $6 by giving me number 21. $6.21 for the bridge set.
Wow, I just love that set, Patrick, and especially that little graphic on the back with the guy carrying the cards.
Yeah, I think we may need to be on the lookout for the Heinz Publishing dude and see if he shows up on anything else.
I'm going to have to do some research on him. I love him.
All right. So we've got my last holiday item. This one is another Christmas item. And this is the kind of counterbalance to the item I had last week. Last week, I sold the Better Homes and Gardens Christmas Ideas 1966. This week, I've got the Christmas Ideas 1965. So it is once again Better Homes and Gardens. On the back, you've got the Christmas ad for Kodak. And on the inside, it has just a ridiculous number of ads, but more importantly, some of the great mid-century modern from 1965, some of the decoration, some of the craft, some of the fashions of what you could do in your home for Christmas in 1965. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to open to the clowns. I should have given a trigger warning.
No clown club, but that's okay.
It's a trigger warning. Oh, look, another one. This appeared to be the clown Christmas issue. Wrapping presents, making your own freaky carolers, your own nativity scene. I'm trying to hold these up. Let's see. You got the great graphics of just Christmas scenes of what Christmases looked like in 1965. You got the mantle with the old pewter put in there. You go, Nate. Building the pewter collection on the Christmas mantle. Looks great there. Centerpiece bowl with the red tapers. It's just chock full tree trinkets and baubles. Like, I would hope that we wouldn't cut this apart for junk journaling, but it's got such great graphics in here. You never know what you could use with it. So it is Christmas Ideas 1965, featuring ornaments, wreaths, parties, creches, trees, doors, bizarre gifts, fireplaces, keepsakes, recipes, mobiles, gifts, walls, and gift wraps. So it is a set. It is the 1965 issue of Christmas Ideas. And this one is $15. So $15 for the 65 Christmas issue of Better Homes and Gardens by giving me number 85. $15, 85 for the Better Homes and Gardens.
And one of the things, folks, I found that you can do with these magazines, if you actually want to do some of the crafts in them and use some of the guides to cut out or trace, you can actually copy those if you would like with a professional copier, like maybe go to UPS store and they'll do it for you. And then you have copies of it and you're not running your original book. And boy, that was a popular item. And I knew it would be because Christmas is always so popular. I don't see Nate's message yet, so I'm going to wait because there was just quite a few people all coming in at the same timestamp for that one.
Excellent. You're all going to make sure we wait for Nate.
Yes, wait for Nate. I just love the graphics in those. And I saw Dee was saying something about the creepy carolers, and I think that's kind of funny.
I mean, some of the things that you look back on that, like, particularly when you get into the 70s, because that's my childhood, things that we did all the time, and I look back and it's horrifying. Like, did we ever think that that was cute or that was, like, attractive? I mean, I don't think we knew we were in the middle of kitsch central. Like, it was just, that's just what we did. I don't know if we've lost Nate.
I think we have. I just refreshed though, and I see Catherine Young picking up number 8.
And that's who I saw as well. So okay, so Catherine Young.
And Nate's confirming it. Nate just came back in. I think maybe we lost Nate for a second, but we're all on the same page.
We're all on the same page. Catherine Young gets that. So congratulations, Catherine, for picking up the 65 issue. So the last item I've got, I'm wrapping up the sale with my last 2 mystery boxes.
Mint in box.
Mint in box. So the mystery boxes, this is going back to the standard mystery box. These are the $15 mystery boxes, not the mega mystery box. So again, these will be custom packed to have between $25 and $30 worth of merchandise and packed to accommodate a shipping cost of around or under $10. So if I'm shipping it farther, you'll get the same value. You'll just lighter weight material. So it is a $15 box. It will be, there are 2 of them. So it'll be the first 2 people that come up with the correct number. And for this last item, the two items, or the 2 boxes that will be issued.
Patrick, I'm sorry, but we do have a clarification here. The last number was 85. And Catherine, I'm so sorry, but you put in 82. Oh, 82 was the number. Okay. Okay. So I'm sorry. Yes, 82 is the correct number. So Catherine, you did get the correct number.
So it looks like maybe I said 85, but this is the card that I had on it. So this would have been the one that actually was on the screen. So I apologize if I said it wrong. But I tend not to be as much of a whatever. Clearly, you didn't enter the number 15. You know, you weren't entering $15. You were entering the number. So it's Catherine's. It's Catherine.
Yeah. So Catherine got it. Okay.
Yeah, Catherine got it.
It's squared away, folks.
Yeah, because it was the intent. There was nothing. If I made a mistake saying the wrong number, you're seeing the number. So it's it's either way. And I wondered why. I saw multiple numbers. I'm like, what's going on? So yeah, it's Catherine's. And it looks like Edward, I'm sorry, you would have been the first person that gave 85, but I do see Catherine, and the intent was she had the right item. So and other people also typed in 82. So people were either going by audio or by visual. So back to the final. So the final two mystery boxes. There are two of them, and you will guess the number. This number falls between 20 and 30. So it falls between 20 and 30 are the last two mystery boxes. Yeah, you do that. You do that, Nate.
All right. Well, I just love these mint and box mastery pads. Mint and box maxi pads. Those are just so fun. They really do make a great statement piece in your bathroom, because I know a lot of people come in and will say, why do you have those maxi pads there? And then you get the Trusty Huckster story, which is so fun. And these numbers are already flying into the chat. Ooh, I think I see it already once. All right, let's see if there's any more.
I see one.
Yeah, I just see the one.
Between 20 and 30.
Okay, I only see the one so far.
Yeah, I only see the one so far. We don't have, maybe we must have lost some people. We don't have as many people bidding in. And
this is always so fun to see who actually wins this. And Nate cannot be bribed, even though in the chat I saw that he said he could be bribed with Wedgwood silver and Notgeld. I don't think Nate can actually be bribed. Okay, let's see who else is coming in.
The numbers are still coming in, but I still don't see the second one.
Yeah, I don't see a second one either.
So we've got multiple people that are bidding multiple times, and they're claiming multiple times, but they're missing numbers.
Catherine will ever recall them Maxtery pads. There we go. Well, a conglomeration of like Trusty Huckster and Maxi pads. Okay, I don't see the. Oh, okay. Now we
a bunch of people just started paying attention to what number was missing, and they all hit at the same time. So now we have to wait for Nate to claim, because I see a bunch of them in order. Because yes, the number was 22. So for those of you that ended up coming in at the end, realizing that 22 was the one everyone missed, it looks like for sure Pete got one of them. So Pete's repeats was the first one that we saw very early on.
The first one I saw.
But then a bunch came in at one time, and I don't know.
And Mayberry Mayberry, I can't get the name right. Anyway, Mayberry, you're gonna get the second.
Patricia.
Box. Congrats. Yes, Patricia. There we go. I can master that.
And Pete's repeats. All right. I don't think Pete's gotten a box before. I'm trying to remember if Patricia's gotten one before. But that'll be the first one going to Pete. So thank you so much for participating in those. I hope you guys enjoy what you get in those. And I hope you guys have fun trying to claim the items. So.
It's always a great, fair way, Patrick. So I love that you're taking after Fatbird Finds and doing this. It's just so much fun.
Yeah. So congratulations, Pete. So that was the last item. I ended up even going longer than I'd anticipated, because I didn't have that many items, because I had to just show what fit in my suitcase. But I did have a couple things that didn't sell. The Sweet and Low recipe books did not sell. So if you came in late, these are still available for $5. It's a pair of recipe books from the 60s. Actually, that's the only thing I set aside. So I don't know if everything else actually ended up getting claimed. Oh, the little metal dish didn't get claimed.
Yes, the metal dish sold.
Oh, did it sell? Okay, then I think everything else sold. This was the only thing I set to the side. So these were $5. So if anybody wanted the Sweet and Low, you can claim those still. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I do apologize to Edward and to everyone else who got confused because of my mistake on the numbering. But again, I'm not giving away, we're not putting the Mona Lisa in a mystery box either. There's no Mona Lisa in the magazine. So Catherine got it fair and square, and because it was clearly the intent for her to grab the number that I showed, even if I said a different number, she was first in line. So hopefully there's no issues about that. And appreciate Katie and Nate joining me and keeping things on track in the chat. So for those who came in late, Katie, why don't you remind people what you've got coming up and talk again about your collaboration that you just issued?
Absolutely. So I've got a collaboration that I just issued for Halloween. So anyone can participate in that if you are on Instagram or on YouTube. And it's an ephemeral Halloween challenge. The video is due by the 20th of October, and it will be set for release at 7 p.m. Eastern. So hope you guys join in my first YouTube collaboration. It's a lot of fun. All you need is a vintage Halloween ephemera and a vintage bowl. The challenge is that the bowl has to be vintage, but the ephemera, you can be as creative as you want, because I know Halloween is hard to find. So if you want to do some crafting, print some things off the internet and give that vintage style, you definitely can do that as well. And then don't forget to tune in for another Tales from the Triptych. That is this Sunday at 8 p.m. on my channel. And I'll be telling you all about vintage vinyl. So that will be my tale with Patrick and Nate.
Excellent. And then I will actually be hosting the next duo dive. I just had Katie last night talking about her tobacco tin, so that's on my channel. It just happens that I'm doing 2 weeks in a row, just by the way the calendar filled out, and I will be hosting, Katie and I will both be hosting, but on my channel, Cindy from Mimi's Treasure Cottage and her collection of cupcake toppers and cupcake decor on next Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on the Trusty Huckster Mercantile channel. Plus, I'll have my regular sales. I will have another sale next Thursday. It will also be a sale from the road, and that might be my last one for at least a week, if not 2. So we'll have to see what happens. But that'll be going on, and I hopefully will be dropping a video soon, which will showcase some of the things that are going on for October, in particular, the planning for the fundraiser for the Just One More Dachshund Rescue organization. So jomdr.org, that is the charity that will happen. The fundraiser itself will happen on November 11th, but we've got a lot of preparation and things that people can participate in before then, including the recipe challenge, where if you want to help me fill the vintage recipe box that I've purchased with a recipe that you can share, I will actually sell the filled recipe box on my eBay store, and all the funds will go to the doxies. So just send the recipe to the address that's in this video or on my about section, just for something fun, inexpensive. You could just help make a fun item that we will end up selling for the doxies. And don't forget my challenge collaboration due October 12th. That is a hashtag Trusty's birthday party, where you find a vintage recipe issued or created before 1970, create it either through photography for Instagram or on video for YouTube, post it into my shared playlist on my channel to go live on October 12th, my actual birthday, at 8 p.m. Eastern. So you don't have to set it up as a premiere, just set it up to go live at that time, and we'll see what kind of great recipes everyone is going to make for my virtual birthday party. So thanks again, Katie. Thanks again, Nate.
Absolutely.
Thanks again to everyone else joining in the chat and for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Have a great night, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, friends.